Madison Square Garden, the most iconic arena in the world, the place where legends are made and where frauds get exposed. And on fight night, Arman Tsarukyan will finally get his hands on the man he's been calling a trash can for over a year. Paddy Pimblett, the Baddy, Liverpool's favorite son, the most hyped fighter in the UFC lightweight division, and according to Tsarukyan, the most overrated one. This is not just a fight, this is personal. Let's start with what just happened because context is everything. Paddy Pimblett was handed an interim lightweight title shot at UFC 324 against Justin Gaethje. Not Tsarukyan, not the #1 ranked contender in the division. Paddy. The UFC chose star power over merit, and everyone knew it. Tsarukyan, who was ranked #1, who had won his last fight without taking damage, who was ready to go, was completely ignored. The promotion told him straight, it's business, deal with it. So he watched. And he waited. And then Justin Gaethje did exactly what Tsarukyan predicted. Before the fight, Arman told Daniel Cormier word for word, Paddy is just tough, not technical. He's wild. Gaethje will be calm the first 2 rounds, use his experience, and then take over. That is exactly what happened. Pimblett showed heart. Nobody questions that. But heart without technique only takes you so far at the highest level. Tsarukyan called it perfectly, and then watched his rival lose. Now let's talk about who these two men really are. Paddy Pimblett is one of the most entertaining fighters the UFC has produced in years. The charisma, the crowd, the energy inside the arena when his music hits. He has real wins. Michael Chandler, Bobby Green, Tony Ferguson. He is undefeated inside the UFC until Gaethje stopped that run. And he is genuinely dangerous on the ground with solid submission skills. But here's the problem. Every time Pimblett has faced a truly elite opponent, the cracks appear. He gets hit. He gets hurt. He survives on toughness and adrenaline. Against Gaethje, the world saw it clearly, the technique gap is real. Tsarukyan said it with no diplomacy whatsoever. Is this the trash can? Who said he can out-grapple me? That was his reaction when Paddy tapped out to a calf slicer in a grappling tournament during fight camp. This is the level of respect Arman has for Pimblett's game. 0. Now, Arman Tsarukyan, the Armenian fighter who has been the most criminally overlooked contender in the lightweight division for 2 years straight. He withdrew from his title fight against Islam Makhachev on weigh-in day due to back spasms, and the UFC has been making him pay for it ever since. Passed over, sidelined, watching others jump the queue. But look at what he did while waiting. He kept winning, he kept competing. Grappling matches, wrestling tournaments, staying sharp while everyone else got opportunities he deserved. His record speaks for itself. Elite wrestling, dangerous striking, cardio that doesn't quit. He beat Mateusz Gamrot. He beat Beneil Dariush. He nearly submitted Islam Makhachev himself in their first meeting before losing a close decision. And now the UFC has finally given him what he wants. Not just a fight revenge on the man who spent a year mocking him while jumping the queue. Tsarukyan didn't miss a single opportunity to remind everyone of the truth. He predicted Paddy's loss before it happened. He laughed when it did. And now he has to prove it inside the cage. So what happens at MSG? This is where it gets interesting. Paddy's only realistic path to victory runs through the early rounds. If he can land something big, hurt Tsarukyan, and drag the fight into chaos, anything is possible. Paddy thrives in chaos. He is built for wars. But Tsarukyan is not the kind of fighter who gets dragged into chaos. He is controlled, technical, patient. He will not stand in front of Pimblett and trade wildly. He will pick his shots, work the clinch, use his wrestling to grind Paddy down. And that is exactly the kind of fight Pimblett cannot win. The grappling question is the most important one. Paddy tapped out in a grappling tournament during fight camp. Tsarukyan is one of the best grapplers in the entire lightweight division. If this fight hits the ground, and it will, Paddy is in serious trouble. Chael Sonnen actually warned the UFC against making this fight because both men are title contenders. But here is the difference. Only one of them has actually looked like a title contender every single time he has competed at this level. And it is not the man from Liverpool. The prediction. Early rounds, Paddy swings for the knockout. Tsarukyan is patient, stays disciplined, avoids the big shots. By round 2 or 3, Arman takes over. Wrestling, clinch work, ground control. Paddy's cardio gets tested, his technique gets exposed. My prediction: Arman Tsarukyan, TKO or decision by round 3. Not because Paddy has no heart, he has more heart than almost anyone in this division. But MSG is not the place for heart alone. MSG is the place where the best man wins. And on this night, that is Arman Tsarukyan. The Baddy walks into Madison Square Garden with something to prove. Tsarukyan walks in with a year of frustration, a year of being overlooked, and a year of being right about everything. One of them leaves with their reputation intact. The other finally gets the answer they have been avoiding. Will the Baddy get exposed at MSG? You already know what I think. FightUnity, subscribe to the channel. You can support us on Ko-fi or with crypto link in the description and pinned comment. Every bit of support helps us make more content like this. Thanks for being here.